College students are facing an epidemic. As students focus on work, sports, and social lives, life on a college campus often comes at the expense of health. While alcohol and sex get all the attention, there is another health issue that has been ignored for years: WSD, but you may know it as widespread sleep deprivation. Sleep. We all do it. Whether you like it or not, sleep is an integral part of every human's health. But while people are trying to watch their weight and eat right, few consider changing their sleep habits.
Getting more sleep. You may have already resolved to lose weight, stop smoking, or get out of debt, but all those good intentions will be tougher to follow through on if you don't consistently get a good night's rest. A recent study found people who clocked 8.5 hours of sleep a night lost twice as much fat as people who squeaked by on 5.5 a night. If you're trying to kick cigarettes, getting the recommended amount of shut-eye can make it easier not to reach for a smoke when you're stressed. And you may think burning the midnight oil at work may help you make more money, but the opposite could actually be true. A separate study finds that getting enough sleep helps us process information and be more creative, which at the very least makes us more productive.
In today's 24-hour world, having a healthy sleep schedule is not easy. It involves entraining your circadian rhythm by going to bed at a consistent time each night, and making sure you get a sufficient amount of sleep, typically 8 or 9 hours. Avoiding caffeine and alcohol will also help maintain a healthy schedule, but at college, this is easier said than done. Unlike with other afflictions, students are at especially high risk of WSD. Professor William Dement at Stanford University says that sleep deprivation can cause poor academic performance, increased incidence of automobile accidents, increased moodiness, and increased use of stimulants and alcohol. Stanford University takes special care of its students, especially its freshmen, by putting highly trained resident assistants, or RAs, in every hallway. A quick glance at the 2010-2011 RA Training Reference Guide explained that residential staff should actively use their foundation of knowledge to promote healthy individual and community behaviors and norms, and prevent dangerous or harmful situations on the part of their residents. I sat down with world-class RA Seth Winger to learn exactly how he deals with WSD. Do you have any formal education about sleep?
I do not.
So maybe he wasn't the best source about WSD, but at least he had something to offer with respect to his residents. What week last quarter do you think your residents seemed the most tired?
It's very hard to generalize in a dorm of 50 people. I think people are most tired the weeks they have midterms. I think that is
Even
definitely
more so than finals week.
I think so, because there's more to do during midterm week. You still have to go to class. You still have other classes assignments. Whereas finals week, you have, I guess, less responsibilities, even if you're studying more.
Do you and the other staff do anything special that week to try and help out students who are suffering from sleep deprivation?
We do not, except provide moral support and encourage them to, I guess, go to sleep.
Did they talk about that at all during RA training?
Sleep, I believe sleep was mentioned, but not focused on. It was part of a general discussion about health and happiness and being overworked versus keeping yourself healthy.
How was it possible that the extensive training provided by Stanford University, home of the world-renowned sleep center, wouldn't include sleep? RAs are trained to deal with health issues involving drugs, alcohol, psychological distress, sexual harassment, body image, emotional struggles, and stress. But there is not a single mention of WSD in the RA training guide. Was there any way to fight this commando plague? 2010 RA extraordinaire Fausto Bustos offered a solution. And have you had any formal education about sleep?
Yes.
What was that education?
Sleep and dreams.
Maybe this RA would be able to demonstrate the healthy environment described in the RA reference guide.
But they caused me and a few of the other staff members to go several nights without sleeping. For example, at the end of fall quarter, I pulled my first all-nighter ever. That was 54 hours. And then at the end of winter quarter, there was another incident at the dorm that required me to go beyond 64 hours of no sleep. I lost count at 64, but I know I at least made it to 64 hours. So that's my record.
The advising community may not be prepared to deal with WSD, but superheroes like William C. Dement and Jamie M. Zeitzer have taken up the fight. Their Sleep and Dreams class teaches students the importance of getting enough sleep. Taking it will give you the power to fight WSD and probably make you more attractive. I know it helped me. Widespread sleep deprivation is still the leading cause of sleepiness in college students, most likely due to limited sleep education. But if you can't afford proper sleep education, there's still one thing you can take away from this.
Drowsiness is
Red alert.
Drowsiness is
Red alert.
Thank you, Seth Winger.